Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90-Day Fiancé, bills. I'm convinced Michael's crying poor after dumping Angela. His money woes get him sympathy. Michael Ilasanmi from 90-Day Fiancé is hinting at having money problems. And I've started to believe that Angela Deem was right when she accused Michael of being a grifter. As much as I hate to admit it, I can now see what Angela meant when she claimed Michael was a fraud who tricked her into marriage. I am not at all a supporter of Angela, but I don't think I'm Team Michael either. Having watched both of their antics on multiple shows for almost a decade now, I'd rather not support either of them in what they do. However, I know there's more to Michael than what meets the eye. Angela spent years of her life and even a lot of money that she didn't have on bringing Michael to America. Still, no amount of bad-mouthing that Angela did about her runaway husband could stop fans from feeling bad for him. Michael was smart enough to take advantage of all their emotions. He struck when the iron was hot and got the show's viewers to fund his new life in America. I unfortunately think there's a side to Michael that's greedy, which is why he stayed with Angela. Michael has been increasing his Instagram followers slowly and steadily by creating content such as reels of him dancing. However, I feel that Michael is also running out of ideas about what to post. Considering he wants to be an influencer, Michael posts very little on Instagram. He has a manager and a PR team and still posts a random video every few weeks that doesn't really explain what his content is about. I think Michael should spend time deciding on his niche as an influencer. He doesn't know what he is influencing his fans about. However, I've observed that what Michael is doing instead is spending time posting passive-aggressive stories for Angela to see on his IG. Michael thinks that he sends out a message about his life every time he reposts a reel or post made by someone else on his story. He wishes for fans to put two and two together and figure out what his life is all about in the US through what he posts. I think these days even Angela is tired of throwing shade at Michael and has accepted her faith. On the other hand, Michael is still milking as much sympathy as he can get from fans. What recently caught my attention was Michael indicating that he was experiencing money problems. Michael reposted a video on his Instagram story from @ducats__ in which a man is shown recounting previously counted dollar bills, symbolizing financial struggles. Although Michael didn't explicitly mention it, he seemed to relate to the caption of the video, "How my budget gone be starting January 1st." Michael wanted his followers to think he was literally broke, while the world around him expected him to celebrate his first Christmas and New Year's Eve as a single man with great aplomb. Michael's repost got me wondering about what happened to the $52,000 he had accumulated through his GoFundMe. It was in August 2024 and that wasn't a long time ago. Michael's original ask was $50,000, but once he saw comments from critics asking why he needed so much money, he quickly changed the goal to $25,000, thinking no one would notice. Once he raised $10,000 within hours of launching the fundraiser, Michael got greedy. Michael had initially claimed that he needed the money for his legal fees. Considering he only wanted $25,000, the rest of it was something fans gave Michael in goodwill for his personal needs. Michael tried to claim that he launched the GoFundMe because of Angela. It was after it was revealed that Angela had taken him to court to get their marriage annulled. Angela saw what Michael was doing early on. Of course, Angela had been with Michael for over 7 years, even if he kept plenty of secrets from her. Angela could tell what he was up to. As far as I can tell, Angela didn't make Michael live in poverty when he was in Nigeria. Angela has seemingly made Michael quit his job because they earned enough to make a living through the show. Angela was sending Michael a steady flow of money while he was still living in Lagos. Michael had a car and a house and wore stylish clothes, and never once did he cry about having money problems. Michael even had excess money he was putting in a piggy bank scheme for a rainy day, without informing Angela. Angela never let her husband suffer financially while they were together. Michael didn't bother to give his fans an explanation about what he did with the piggy bank money if it had come to him making fundraisers. Michael moved to Texas and was already living in a clean and spacious apartment immediately after he left Georgia. It wasn't like Michael was on the streets with nowhere to go when he tried to escape from Angela. I believe Michael had enough money even then, months before the GoFundMe came into the picture, to pay for a comfortable house. Ever since, I have a feeling that Michael moved into his own apartment which he doesn't share with anyone. The apartment is fully furnished with everything Michael needs to spend a relaxing day at home. His rooms look spacious and clean, and the apartment is well maintained compared to what Michael had to deal with in Hazelhurst. How is Michael able to afford such a swanky space if he has been pinching pennies? Angela and her cast member friends, like Loren Bravarnik and Scott Wern, had previously implied that Michael bought himself a new car from the money he raised through the GoFundMe. Although I know that he didn't sin by getting a car for himself, since it's a necessity, he could have bought a humble ride and not a Mercedes. Michael only wants the best for himself yet wants to make it look like he's struggling to make ends meet. Michael seems to think that he implies he has money problems again, and fans would rush to his aid again. As far as I know, Michael hasn't talked about having another job apart from his work as an influencer right now that's helping him earn. If Michael has already exhausted his GoFundMe funds, it's probably time for him to start another fundraiser to get more money from his 90-Day Fiancé fans. I fear that Michael has used all the money and doesn't know of any other way he could make more, apart from taking it from his fans, which has led him to cry poor on 90-Day Fiancé fans know about Michael Ilasanmi. It's that his relationship with Angela Deem was always a roller coaster. For years, viewers tuned in to watch Angela scream, threaten, and control while Michael quietly played the supportive husband who seemed to put up with far more than most people could handle. Now that their marriage is officially over and Angela claims she's done for good, a new narrative seems to be unfolding. Michael has gone from Angela's yes man to a single man trying to make his way in America. And fans are starting to notice that his money troubles might just be the latest storyline twist. In fact, I'm convinced Michael's crying poor after dumping Angela, and it's getting him loads of sympathy from fans who once saw him as nothing more than Angela's sidekick. Let's break down why this financial narrative might be his most powerful play yet. The shift in Michael's image. For years, Michael's reputation on 90-Day Fiancé was tied to Angela. She paid for his visa process, his lifestyle in Nigeria, and even his occasional splurges. Angela constantly reminded him, and the audience, that she was the breadwinner. She lorded her financial support over him, often reminding Michael that he wouldn't even be in the US without her. But now that he's free, the script has flipped. Without Angela's income and TLC paychecks tied to their chaotic drama, Michael suddenly looks like the underdog. He's not the husband mooching off his loud American wife anymore. Instead, he's the immigrant trying to survive in a country that isn't easy for anyone, let alone someone still finding their footing. And that's where the crying poor narrative really comes in. Fans are eating it up because it's relatable. Who isn't worried about bills right now? Michael's timing is no accident. It's not a coincidence that Michael's "I'm struggling financially" moments are popping up now. Angela has spent years painting him as a scammer, a user, and a liar. But the truth is, Angela's constant financial reminders worked in his favor. Fans already believe he didn't have much money on his own. So when Michael hints at struggling now, it feels believable.